You are getting ready to listen to the voice of Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, four-time national judo champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, author, speaker, and coach.
Hey, what's going on? This is Dr. Ferguson. This morning, welcome to another edition of got my Coffee with Rhadi. This is going to be a real quick Coffee with Rhadi. I want to tell you this. There is absolutely no excuse for missing practice. And when I'm talking about practice, I'm not just talking about a sport practice if you do football or wrestling or track and field or judo. I'm talking about the practices that you do in order to prepare for those practices. If you have practice, if you have an individual workout, if you're a wide receiver and you're working with a receiver coach, or if you're a person who boxes and you're working out with a pad guy, well, there's no excuse for missing practice. If you're the pad guy, you don't miss practice. And if you're the trainer, you don't miss practice. And what I've seen happen a lot is I've seen people get comfortable with missing practice. So let me give you just a small piece of advice. It's a small piece of advice for parents. Because, parents get tired too. They get tired and they don't want to send the child to practice. And that happens. And when the child misbehaves, then the parent punishes the child by not sending them to practice. Here's the thing, and here's what should happen. Here's what occurred when I was smaller. Maybe we need to get back to this with all this social media and not having face-to-face communication. What you want to do is you want to leverage the coach and have the coach become a partner in your familial community, so that if something happens bad with your child at school, instead of not sending the kid to practice, have a conversation with the coach and say, hey, little Johnny didn't do well in school today, and I was wondering if there's anything that we can do to help reinforce some positive behavior for little Johnny. Instead of saying, I see Benjamin Zapata on here. Instead of saying, Professor Zapata, my son won't be at practice today because he's misbehaving in school. No, what you do is you call Professor Zapata, who's a jiu-jitsu coach, and you say, Professor Zapata, we've been having some trouble with Lisa talking a lot in class. Are there any disciplinary measures that you guys can put in to reinforce, the behaviors that they also want to have in school? So pulling a child out of a sport, one, gives the parent an exit, and then two, it gives the child an exit, because if there's any time that the child doesn't want to do something, they know they can misbehave and not get sent to practice. So the key is, as a parent or a guardian, once you've made the decision to attend practice, or you've allowed for one to do practice, you make sure that you do everything in your power for that person to attend practice, and then you create a partnership with the person who is spending time with your child to help raise your child together, because we all exist in the same global community. What we don't want in life is we don't want people who aren't behaving or governing themselves in an exemplary measure. And when you get down to it, parents, coaches, we all want the same thing. We all want excellence from the children. So when it comes to practice is something that should not be missed. And we should reinforce the behaviors that we want to see in the classroom, outside the classroom, and at home, in practice and at home. Try to create what we call in education, a collaborative approach along with the individuals who are coaching your child. Take care.